Thanks very much, AJ. We're going to do all the questions at the end, so I'll just ask Nadia and Lily to assist.
Sure. I don't know what to say. She said it all. So my name is Nadia Edwards. I am the Food and Community Development Worker at the STOP. So I'm just we're gonna do this in two parts. I'm gonna talk a couple of minutes about the STOP and the history of the STOP. And Lily is gonna talk about our community action component at the STOP and how we organize and some really exciting things we have going on right now. So the STOP has been around for about 30 years. We started off in Kensington Market, and then we moved to Davenport, and then we moved again to where our home is right now at 884 Davenport, which is Davenport and Symington. The idea of the STOP when they first started was that there was an issue going on and poverty rates were going up. So they wanted a way to have a space to give people what they needed, which was basically just handing out food. And I remember when I first got this job, first started doing a little community action a couple years ago, I asked the question, so what made the STOP move from just giving out food to what we are today? And Nick, who is our ED right now, said that one of the things they noticed that people would just leave the cans of soup they give out on the street. Like you'd be going home from work at your day in the food bank and you'd see this long lineup of cans of soup, and they were like, so we don't understand what's happening, right? And then they kind of put it together that they were giving out cans of soup, but nobody had a can opener or a knife to open it. So I will give you something, but you can't really use it anyway. So they decided to kind of change the face of our food bank. At the STOP, we have over maybe 13 different programs. We have our emergency food program, which is our food bank, our drop-in. And we have our education component, which is like community kitchens. We have Sabo Latino, we have the Moms Cooking Group, we have the grade 5 cooking program, we have the after school program. So we have a wide range of programs that is based on just cooking and coming together and cooking, because we love food and we believe in food, and everything at the STOP starts with food. And so after that, then we have our Healthy Beginnings program, which is a pre and postnatal program for women who are pregnant or just had their babies. That was actually the first program that when the STOP changed, that was the first program they started with, the food bank, then Healthy Beginnings, and then we kind of added on other components to it, which is a civic engagement program Lily's going to talk about. And so in the past couple of years, the face of the STOP has changed a lot. We now have two sites. We have our main site, which has our food bank and our drop-in, and then we have the Green Barn, which is mostly our urban ag site and our after school and grade 5 program. So for people who live around here, probably know. And then we have the farmers market also as part of that program. At the STOP, we believe in giving people, and when you look at on our website, it says more than just a food bank, because we believe in giving people opportunities. We believe, I think they learned a valuable lesson that we can't just give people what they need right now. Although a lot of our programs is dealing with the here and now, but we kind of like taking that and moving into a bigger piece of taking what's happening in people's lives right now and mobilizing around what's doing. In Ontario, we have over 900 food banks, which is a little bit shameful, right? 30 years ago, we started off saying, okay, we're just gonna do this now because it's an emergency, and now we're like people, it's become this vast thing. We have over 300,000 households with people who are working and need food banks. It's just, a couple of years ago when I was doing something similar to this, and I said to them, my job is to work myself out of a job in the next 5 years. And ideally that would be great. Ideally that we wouldn't need food banks in the next couple of years, because food banks are not the answer. It is just not like giving people food now and having them walk away. It's not the answer without dealing with the bigger problem. So I will let Lily talk about the best part of my job.
Okay, well, my name is Lily Baumgarten. It is interesting for me to be talking here because although I work at the stop there, I am actually a part of this community. I live just 2 blocks down here. And this one place here is actually the first place in Toronto where I became somehow social. 15 years ago when I got to Toronto, I came to this place called Culture Link. It's a settlement agency for immigrants, and it was right here in this building. I lived in the East End, but I used to come here for it. And now I am here to talk to my actual neighbors about what we are doing at the stop, and it has to do what my life has been in this last 15 years. So I came to the stop a little more than a year ago because somebody told me about a program that we're having now. After I'll give it to you. This is the community action program. And what it does, it takes people from the community and train them as advocates to help, especially people with experience of living poverty or other issues, and teach them or help them to find the means to work with people in the same situation. And some of these people eventually staff our advocacy office. I am an advocate at the stop, a peer advocate. That means I am like them. I am them, the guys I work with, and what I do and many other people do with me is we try to work people to help them walk in the labyrinth, in the horrendous labyrinth that I know so well of the system, the social assistance, the legal aid, the welfare office, the ODSP, the housing. This, for poor people, this is torture. It is people sending you from one door to the other. You are on welfare, and you can spend your days walking in the city because you do not have money and knocking in one door to the other and having people say, oh no, you're going to go to that other office, and that other office happens to be in the East End. Oh no, it's not here, go to Dundas West. Oh no, we don't deal with it here. So at the stop, at the advocacy office, we kind of help people. We take the telephone, we call their work and say, hey, what's going on? Why are you doing that? And then they're like, oh, this is not somebody that is like, now there is somebody backing them up. Who are these people backing them up? So that's one of the things we do. That's the work I do, and I get paid, and other advocates get paid a small honorarium to do that. And because many of us, that's not my case, but because many of us are poor people on welfare or ODSP, this honorarium is cash. It cannot be touched by social assistance because, you know, as you make a little buck, they take it from you right away. So this is one thing I do at the stop. The other thing is the community action and public education part of it. And for that, I have been an intern of the community action program, and I belong to a group that originates at the community and is supported by the stop, and it's called Bread and Bricks. And what we do is to try to organize people to fight for what is, get people from the community, we are the people in the community, and organize the things that we need. So one thing that we say is nothing is to be decided for us without us. If we are going to fight against poverty, don't fight for me, fight with me. And this is like fundamental for whatever you do. So we have done a few campaigns that some of them have got quite famous. We have worked in the Do the Math campaign. We got some famous people to do the math and to also spend some days trying to live in a social assistance diet. And we got the Raise the Rates and the Free TTC campaign. And we do a lot of things, and we organize people and work together. And with the help of the Stop Burden Bricks, that is not the Stop, doesn't belong to Stop. Try to take these people that need and come out and do what we need. So I have a few minutes to talk. I want to talk to you about one thing that the Stop is supporting Burden Bricks is head on in, and I am and Nadia, we are very proud part of it. And we are working in a campaign now with a group called Put Food in the Budget. I'll give it to you later, and you can fill it, give it back to me if you want, mail it to me, fill it in the internet. From next Thursday, we're going out. We have a life-size mannequin of our premier. We're going to take him out. Since he doesn't come to talk to people, he is going to travel. We're going to start with, there's a member of our community called Sharon, a woman that makes she makes $5.99 a month, and she pays, and she's left with, I don't know, a few dollars for food, $7. So she eats in the food bank, and she walks everywhere. She walks 2 hours to talk to her worker that is somehow in Etobicoke. I don't know why. She walks there for 2 hours and comes back. So Sharon walks everywhere. We are doing Sharon's walk with her and the premier. We are carrying the premier. We're coming down we're coming down from the Stop to Queen's Park. We're stopping in several places. We are inviting people to tell the premier how they feel and ask him what he would do in their shoes. And we had a prayer thing yesterday that was with the Toronto Star that is going to be on the newspapers and on the web on Thursday. And we got these people, poor people from the community, this woman saying, how come, Premier McGuinty, you make $17,000 a month and I make $7,000 a year? Why don't you give me a quarter of it to live? That was just amazing, you know. And so we're gonna have this event. I invite you to come. You can either meet us at the Stop at 9 in the morning, or you can meet us at the House Link at 11:30 and do part of the walk with us. And so we're gonna do this walk, and after that, the premier is gonna travel. 40 communities at least in Ontario.
Oh my goodness.
There's people lined up to do that, to receive the premier and talk to him. And this is going to be something. And in June, we're going to finish it with a big event in Toronto, and we're going to start doing something else. Now that I have to finish my talk, what I wanted to tell you is something I told him in one of the first meetings I went for this group, and they told me, they reminded me to tell it to you today. And what I told them is that we are not going to stop the cuts by having good facts and good policies. It's not about persuading the politicians to do the right thing, because they won't do, because they are defending their things, their property, their money, their bread, their families. We're going to take care of ours. What we have to do is to grow, to organize and create power enough to push them to do what we want. And that's what we have to figure out, how we're going to develop this power. Changing policy is not going to save us. They're not going to do what we want. So other thing is that people are much more mobilized to fight when it's about dignity than when it is about policy. Yesterday, a woman at Sistering that we interviewed in the streets, she said something like, sure, I have an addiction, but does that mean I have any less right than you to be treated as a person with dignity? So when people stand up for dignity, that's when they really, sorry, I'm finishing. So when people, they really feel that they're standing up for people and for themselves. So the final thing I want to tell you, and I'm telling you that because I am from Brazil. I grew up in a dictatorship for 20 years. I saw my country change from the bottom. I saw my country change. It's a different country now. It's not perfect. And the leadership for social justice has to come from the people that are impacted by the cuts. We can help. We or you, whatever, intellectuals, students, people that know things, we can help. But we really have to support people, like these people that have nothing, let them have access to things in ways to change. I'm not preaching armed revolution, I'm preaching change. We gotta change, you know, but people from the bottom, when they get organized, they can push. And that's what I wanna see happen.